Dr. Pierce is in the building, the man, the myth, the legend. And before he sits down, we got to acknowledge Athletes Unlimited. It's Dr. Pierce's charity. We went out to the event at Top Golf, and I apologize to Dr. Pierce through text because, we've talked about it. He's told me a little bit about it, but when you get there and you see these athletes that they've helped, from sled hockey to all types of sports that involve disabilities, and without Dr. Pierce and that entire organization, they may not have gotten the opportunity to play at all. So, that's something that charity is something that I'm huge in. And for Dr. Pierce to use his power and his authority to impact lives like that, it's one thing to help people because you're a doctor. It's another thing to go above and beyond and do those types of things for human beings and mankind. And I know I'm getting a little sappy with you right now, but I don't give a shit because that's what's important in this world. So, Dr. Pierce, thank you for coming in the studio today.
Sorry about being a little late, but
that's all right.
Just dealing with stuff, and
You're putting Olympians in the Olympics. It's okay. We understand our time and place.
No, I appreciate you get me pretty emotional. I don't want to get emotional too because everybody saw it last Thursday.
You cried while you were giving your speech, man.
Yeah, no, it was special. I'm glad Woodward Sports, you've always been a part of it, and I'm glad you're starting to feel what's going on. And the tribute you guys did to me on Friday, Matt and the gang, it's just that just makes me more motivated to do more. And I'm just someone, I saw something on Shaq today that here's a guy who has everything, has been everything. And he's like, every day my purpose is to make somebody's day. And, that's what I employ all of us. I mean, we all have that power. You don't have to be a Shaq. You don't have to be a Dr. Pierce. You don't have to be anybody. It's a smile. It's a handout, a hand on your shoulder, a compliment. Yeah. They accuse me I don't like complimenting people, but I do, and I don't want to get this all sideways, but these athletes, I just talked to someone else, and they don't have a perspective on life. I talked to someone who's very upset. He just feels overwhelmed, underwater, and sometimes you just got to do a check. And I asked everybody. I gave a big lecture in Utah over the weekend, and my son was there, and they got emotional too. The presenter that asked me to come out got emotional, mostly about what we do for the athletes. And what you say is, as a physician, we're innate to help others, but there's certain people out there that go above and beyond.
There's your Hippocratic oath that you have to fulfill. And then there's doing things for other people when they don't even ask you to. And I think that's the difference. And also, recognition to your son, a great young man. I've met him a couple times, and even at the event, he came up and shook my hand. So to have to raise your son to be that type of person, to come up, shake hands, introduce himself, that speaks volumes for you too. So enough stroking.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's get to something serious.
Let's talk about Ahmed Hassanein and his pectoral injury earlier in the season. We talked about it a little bit during the preseason,
right.
But they now activated him back on the practice squad. They didn't shut him down for the entire season on the IR, indicating that it was possible to come back from this. Can you explain kind of the recovery process for a torn pec?
So your pec muscle is the big muscle, right? We keep thinking, my chest muscles, boom, the beauty muscles. It's not one muscle, it's multiple muscles. You'll see here, it's actually made up of 3 muscles. And when you have a partial tear, he didn't have a complete tear, he had a partial tear. And it's where it is in the belly. When you hear me talk, we talk about, is it in the mid substance, in the mid belly of it, in the beef of it, as opposed to the attachment. When it's in the attachments, you're looking at longer lengths of stay out, longer recoveries, longer healing times, possible surgery. We didn't hear anything about him having surgery. There was probably some secret sauce involved into this.
Of course.
But you want to be able to, it's your power, right? I hurt my arm. I went to, was trying to lift. I can't lift just because of my silly little tear in my bicep muscle. When you lose a pec muscle, it eliminates a lot of stuff you can do. So you got to let that heal to build that NFL strength back up. So that's where he is. I think everybody felt he had football smarts because he had some instinct in him. And this injury, from the doctors, you recover from this. This is not a non-recoverable injury. It's just the time frame is variable.
What's the recovery process? Is it rest? Is it working it out? Is it stretching? What is it? Heat?
It's proper healing of the tissues, right? Okay. We want proper tissue healing. It's funny because I just recognized on myself and my arm, here, the people don't realize that you have little injuries, like little bruises, and then it forms little blood pockets, and then it collapses on the muscle tissue. So you have to break that down for the tissue to become efficient again. So when you feel something in your muscle, like somebody punches you and they put their knuckle out, how they want to put a bruise into you,
Yep.
or you get a helmet to the leg, those things actually add up to inefficiencies of your muscle and your biomechanics. So all those things matter. Like when you go get massages, when you get, this chiropractic adjustments, when you do your Pilates, all that is getting your body into ideal biomechanics, right? You've heard me use the silly thing like, a car will go down the street with one wheel out of alignment, but eventually it'll wear out.
Right.
If you correct it early, you do preventative care, and now you're going to be more efficient and more biomechanically sound. So that's the same thing going on here. You want to heal properly. You don't want to rush it. Like Hutchinson's a great example of the steps of recovery. So when you're doing it, no, you don't work it out. It's not more pain, more gain. That's not the situation. You have to go to its tolerance and slightly below that so you don't continue that micro tearing.
The Lions have dealt with a ton of injuries, obviously, over the past 2 years. I'm not asking you to grade their strength and conditioning team, but in everything you've seen, them bringing players back, are they doing it the proper, or I don't want you to, I'm putting you in a weird position because you don't know the exact diagnosis, obviously,
right.
But do you think this strength and conditioning team is handling everything the right way moving forward?
I have applauded multiple times the medical and training staff of the Detroit Lions. We've had crazy injuries. Have I had injuries where they were overuse or muscle imbalances? There was a strengthening coach that was over squatting. I was in Utah. It was the BYU team. They replaced the whole team because they weren't acknowledging it. This team, with the science we have today, if you're not acknowledging it, you're missing today's medicine, today's training, today's methods. So no, I think, like I do my silly show, I think it's thumbs up definitely for the training staff for the Detroit Lions.
Love it. Well, Doc, we're out of time today, but I know you're going to be on again on Thursday, correct?
Yep.
So we got a lot more to cover then. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for everything you do for the community, and thank you for keeping us in the knowledge of all the injuries that are happening throughout the Lions season.
Right.
Dr. Pierce,
thanks,
Michigan
guys.
Sports and Spine Center, powered by Amon-Ra of Southfield. Make sure you give him a call today if you're having any back injuries or anything like that. Any injury, really, right, Doc?